Arena in River Falls. Hello again, everyone. Mike Sullivan along with Ed Paulson. High school hockey night from Arena on WJGK. Eau Claire, your spot for sports. The opener for the Eau Claire North Huskies under Tom Kuklinski. Game number 2 of the season and the home opener for the River Falls Wildcats. They have one game under their belt, a 4-1 win over Faribault Shattuck, an improved team, we understand. They have played River Falls for as long as I can remember, and it used to be back and forth in the years when River Falls was way down. Shattuck would win. The Wildcats notched a couple of wins, but I think from talking with Coach Scott Dickmeyer, and he was pleased with not just the score, but the overall performance at all ends of the ice for at least the last 2 periods of that game.
Mike, he had lost a couple of players that they talked about, and I think that, you come into a game like that, you're kind of worried about just what your team is going to do. You're not really sure. She's been practicing for a couple of weeks, and like they say, you're scrimmaging, you don't really keep score. This is a chance for him to go out and say, okay, the defense looks good, but they got a lot of shots on goal, the goalie look good, so now we're going to come down to real test. This is almost like league play. These two schools have played each other so often. Tom Kuklinski is thinking the same thing on the other side. His first game, 3 weeks, they've had a couple of weeks of camp. It's been tough.
You can see the difference in the two coaches, and Tom Kuklinski is always a little more noticeably nervous than Scott Dickmeyer, but Tom Kuklinski is just churning inside before this opener. He wants to find out. He's got some questions, and he wants those questions answered.
This is the best time to do it, Mike. You can do it early in the season against a good club like River Falls is. A lot of those, maybe they're the kind of the club that can bring out your weaknesses or maybe even your strengths. If Kevin Warren can do the job in goal tonight, we'll find out.
All right. You hear the horn. The teams will be coming back out on the ice. We'll have the starting lineups and the opening face-off from Arena right after this. And 5 sophomores. So that puts a little different light on it. The Huskies are indeed a young team in 85-86, and I know Tom Kuklinski won't make excuses and ask for patience or that type of thing, but I think the fans will need to be a little bit patient with this team.
I think so, Mike, but then again, we've always said that. We said that last year about the Eau Claire Memorial team, how young they were. And look at the crop of the people they had last year, so maybe can history repeat itself. I think it can. Why would you
at Eau Claire Memorial. We'll have a preview on that one later on tonight. On Saturday afternoon, we'll have Eau Claire Memorial season opener up at Haywood, the rebuilt rink that burned down this spring. And we'll talk about it later about that one as well. And then on Saturday night, the conference opener for the Eau Claire Blue basketball team as they take on the Superior Yellow Jackets. That'll be at 7:15 from up in Superior. Feels so good when they stop. No, they're a good band, but it's tough to battle them. Now let's give you a look at their starting lineups with those. Here's Ed Paulson.
Thank you very much. First of all, for the home team, the Wildcats, their goalie tonight is going to be Mike Miller. The defenseman will be Sean Dusick and Bob Soderberg. The front line is going to have Christopher Olson sharing the line with Scott Silverhouse and Howard Cotton. The Eau Claire Huskies last year went 11-9 and they go at 7 goals. Our ref tonight, Mike, we're still going to bring the tide forward from St. Paul.
I'm looking forward to this one. There is a special feeling about a season opener. A chance to see some of the new kids that we've heard about coming up through the youth ranks. And I got to be honest, some of these I haven't even heard of. They're kids, some of them that have come up through the house leagues. And now a chance to establish themselves as varsity hockey players.
That's one of the nice things, though, being here is coaches in the programs, you hear about a young kid, I know, like Steve Blodgett. When he heard about him as a Mike, he was 9 years old.
Claire North lined up along the blue line to our right. Attired in the road blue tonight with red breezers and white trim. River Falls in the home white with blue breezers and numerals. And now we will have a chance to hear the River Falls High School Band play our national anthem. At Hunt Arena. Hello again, everyone. We're glad you joined us tonight for high school hockey action. Mike Sullivan and Ed Paulson, our 11th year hockey broadcasts on WJJK. We're getting old, Edward.
Thanks a lot. That really did make you good.
You notice I said we.
Yeah. Well, are you going to tell about the interesting sideline you've got coming up on December 13th or not?
No, I'm not going to. You can if you want. River Falls will be skating left to right here in the opening period. Both benches over on the far side just to set the stage for those of you who have not been here. A beautiful facility on the UW River Falls campus with the concession stand down at the end to our left and the Zamboni area to our right. Both player benches on the far side, the penalty boxes on the near side. Eau Claire North on the bench to our right and the Wildcats on the bench to our left. And we're set to go.
It has the one quality that was there most in the hockey arena. It's heated.
I thought you were going to say a no smoking sign. Trigby Olsen's line will center off against Pete Carlson. The Huskies from right to left on your JJK dial. The Huskies' only real veteran line will start things off against Olsen and company. Smoke Seidler pokes it ahead. Soderberg dumps it back to Dusek. The alternate captain for the Wildcats up ahead for Olsen. Stopped along the boards by Pete Glassbrenner, and it flips up into the penalty box, and we're going to quick stoppage of action. The face-off will come outside the Eau Claire North blue line to our right. Just underway, first period. Carlson again, and Olsen pokes it ahead. It goes into the attack zone to our right. Pete Glassbrenner backpedals for it, drops behind the net, takes a nudge from Dusek, gets it up along the far boards, drops it back behind the net for Feck. Feck starts out the near side. Olsen forechecking. Pete Carlson backhands it out to center ice. Here goes Smoke Seidler. Seidler puts on the afterburners, drops the right wing through the strand, has a poke checked away by Dusek. Dusek takes over along the far board, slides it ahead up along the boards for Cernahouse. Cernahouse on left wing has nobody with him for the moment. Gets over the blue line and then an accidental drop feed, and we've got congestion along the near boards, and the Huskies bust out again. Seidler 2-on-1 with Strand. Seidler smokes a shot that bangs off the plexiglass, comes all the way out to right point. Brad Beck in the middle of Carlson, and a glove save by Miller. The Huskies with a couple of early chances.
That's what we talked about, speed, Mike, especially with Dave Snyder. We talked about him for a number of years. He can create a lot of things happening with that. The ability to break away. He did twice there. Took a long shot, take out the rebound and fired in front. Carlson took a nice shot, and Miller was there.
Chris Byes line out now against Joe Turk. Takes off to the left of Miller, in the end to our left, and the draw controlled by the Huskies. The quick shot goes wide and skitters to the near corner. After it along the near boards, Drake Cronenberg back to the point, but Engadal gave ground, and here comes Chris By. By up the middle, has a wing with him and drops it into the far corner. Goes back into the corner with Derek Kotke. Kotke slides it to the near corner. After it there is Garathanas. We'll get it. Garathanas. In the far corner, Joe Turk drops behind the net, back checking nicely, helping out the defenseman, but lost the handle on it. Garathanas a quick pass in front, and Kevin Cayley almost cashed it in, shot it over the top of the net. By goes to the far corner for it, sets up behind the net, centering pass to the side of the cage. Dropping behind the net is Cayley. To By on the near side. They like to have a man behind the net to set up the play. One of their offensive patterns anyway. Comes out to the point to Captain Jim Simone. Along the near boards, By ducks the check, moves in, fires, he hit the post. And it came behind Ward to the far boards, and Turk pokes it out to center. Chris By did everything but put it in that time. Picked his corner high and on the right side, and clanked one off the pipe. Still no score. Huskies changing on the fly. King's line coming out. It's poke checked away by Cronenberg, and Cronenberg dumps it into the attack zone, takes a check, but dumps it in. By goes behind the net with King, drops it to the near side for Landon. Scott Landon winds it up from his own end, right down in front of us along the near boards. Wheels around a check, plays dump and chase, and the Wildcats now will change on the fly. Wheeler goes into the far corner with Pete Glassbrenner. Glassbrenner got it to the near side for Feck. Feck starts up, gets double-teamed along the boards, but slides it out to center. Soderberg takes over there. Here's a steal attempt, and just barely missing it was Lane Costner. He goes after it, gets hammered into the pines by Dusek. Dusek gets up on one knee to backhand it along the near board. He has Kuselek ahead of him, or Schwank rather. Steve Schwank on right wing. Schwank wheels around a check by Feck. Gets the centering pass right through the crease on left point. Soderberg walks it in, flips the shot. It's loose in the crease again. Wheeler. Matt Wheeler scores to get River Falls a 1-0 lead. Soderberg will get an assist. There may be a second assist. It comes at 2:53 of the first period, and River Falls takes a 1-0 lead. We'll be back at Hunt Arena right after this. How's the level? Okay, just a 30 during game action, you know. Okay. The crowd noise is okay? Okay. Back at Hunt Arena, the Huskies come right back. Derek Kottke from the left faceoff circle scores to tie it at 1. An unassisted goal by Derek Kottke. Earlier, Carlson and Strand had each had a chance at Miller, but it was Kottke who finally found the net. Well, he's a converted forward playing defense for Tom Kuprinski, but then he reverted to his old instincts there.
Yeah, it was a defense that he was playing right up close. But then again, I had a couple of shots at Miller. This time they put one in.
3:20 the time of that goal. We're tied at 1. I believe it was unassisted. The Wildcats had possession just prior to that. If there's an assist, it's a gift. The Huskies with it. Brian Rustad drops behind the net. Rustad starts up the far side, gets it to Costley. A long left wing feed to Cronenberg. He's got it. Cronenberg pokes it up the left wing boards. Into the attack zone. A drop feed for Turk. Turk careens in and shoots just wide to the left. It goes to the far boards. After it there is Cernahouse. Cernahouse has a clear lane out to center ice and uses it, gets to the Huskies. Blue line takes a stiff check, and that created an offside. A nice hit by Brad Peck, the veteran, right at the blue line. Textbook style to break up that play.
That time Peck was sitting backwards, was more or less waiting for the Wildcat to come and skid into him, and he got to his range and got him with a nice move ahead. And like I said, it called the offside.
We're tied at 1. 11:08 to go in the first period. Chris Byes lined back out for the Wildcats. Dan King, the sophomore, matched up against him. Dusek to Soderberg on the near side. Dumps it into the attack zone. Derek Kottke retreats behind his own cage. Stops. Goes back the other way. Gets a return feed back to Engdahl, the sophomore, in the near corner. Engdahl has Costley ahead of him, but he's got a forechecker to contend with in the corner. The Wildcats sending 2 men into the corner, and they tie it up along the boards. We'll get a face-off to the left of junior goaltender Kevin Ward.
I always thought that was good strategy, Michael, sending 2 forecheckers. Because if you can go 2-on-1, anytime you should be able to get the puck away when you've got men out open, and especially on their own offensive end.
Guy has Dirathanis perched behind him in the slot. He couldn't pull the trigger, but goes after the puck behind the net. Centering pass. By couldn't tee it up, and the Huskies skated out of there. Here comes Kottke, a left wing feed to Costley. Costley over the blue line, dumps it in. It bounces off the boards back to the goal line, but back to get it is Sean Dusek. Up along the far boards, getting a piece of it was Marty Hickey, the junior for the Huskies, and he freezes it along the boards. We'll get a face-off. A 1-1 hockey game. 10:28 to go in the first period here at Hunt Arena.
Kind of what we expected, Mike. We're seeing a little bit of hitting, not as much, but then a lot of good skating. And the passing for the first game, really the first couple of games maybe, is not really that bad.
The lines have matched up, bing, bing, bing so far, just about. Pete Carlson's line now going against Corey Knott. That's first unit against first unit. And the Wildcats control the draw. Jim Simone, the big captain, wheels it out of his own end. This guy can lug it up court. He's a good offensive and defensive defenseman. Here's Schrank. Got a poke checked away by Seidler. Huskies trying to bust out. They're playing their wings up high, but Simone takes over. 360 spin in the middle zone and gets it back on the near side for Landon. Knocked away from him. Here goes Seidler again. Seidler chasing after it with Wheeler, and Wheeler beats him to it. Wheeler, who got the Wildcats goal, showing he's a good two-way player there, gets the lead feed ahead to Corey Knott. Knott veers to his right and gets hacked down by Glassbrenner. His stick was taken out from under him along with his skates, and the Huskies busted out. Oh, there's a stiff check in the offensive zone, but here's a breakaway for Strand. Scott Strand. And Miller came up with the shot. Miller robbed Strand on a one-on-one. Boy, you talk about action with both ends, Ed.
I was watching the check of Strand just got it in, so I couldn't be watching to see if it could be called. I looked up and we got a breakaway, but I think that time, I don't know whether he shot it. So I think it went a little bit too long to pull the trigger, but that time Miller was right on top of him. There was really no room.
Miller had started to go across the cage, but you're right. He stood his ground and made the stop. Good play by the veteran for the Wildcats. 1-1, 9:35 to go first period. Action in the near corner of the Wildcat zone. Soderberg up the far side. It pops the stick, but Cernahouse makes a nice catch of it, and a drop feed out to center ice. The right wing feed to Olsen, and he was offside. And it's a delayed whistle as the Huskies get it out. Cronenberg Pokes it into the River Falls zone. Dusek has it there. Pass out to center, broken up by Brad Beck. Or Kotke, rather. Kotke will get it to Engadal. Engadal, a lead feed to nobody. It roller coasters around behind the boards, left there by Miller. To the near side, Dusek pokes it out again. Sean Dusek out to center ice. The defensemen have been bringing the puck up well for the Wildcats. Here comes Brad Beck. Here's behind his net. They are. Nobody's seen it yet. The Huskies got by with one there. They had 7 skaters, now there's 6 skaters and a goaltender. Here's a shot from a bad angle, and Miller makes the save.
Yeah, well, they got caught on the defenseman. The defenseman really wasn't getting off in time in the switch, and all of a sudden I see a lot of blue in there. And all my cars are waiting. But like I said, they got away with it for probably a good 20, 30 seconds.
8:42 to go in the first period. We're tied at 1. The faceoff will come in the Wildcat zone to our left. Mike Miller played 2 periods of the win over Shattuck. Schmidt finished up. King loses the draw to Bye. Up the far side, it comes to the right point and out to center. Feck makes sure that his man doesn't get the puck, and Pete Glassbrenner covers up. Out to center, Bye along the boards in front of the Huskies bench on his knees. Just covers the puck, and we'll get another face-off. We'll take a quick break. 1-1 hockey game. Back after this. They're going to change. Oh, they just did, didn't they? Kind of dumb move. 30 here. Once again at Hunt Arena, play at center ice. Scott Landon had it for a moment for the Wildcats. Bye goes back to get and dumps to Simone at his own blue line on the far side. Simone a lead feed to Landon. Landon nudged off the puck, and the Huskies shoot it down the ice, and they'll change on the fly. 7:47 to go in the first period. We're tied at 1. Simone with Carlson forechecking. Strand got a piece of it along the boards. Lost the handle on it, and the Wildcats bust out 2-on-4. At center ice with it is Soderberg. Soderberg rushing the puck, takes the shot, and the save made by Ward. Schrank forechecking in front of the net, got a piece of it. Seidler knocked off the puck, but gets it out to center. Here's Carlson one-on-one. Pete Carlson moving in to his right. Can't pull the trigger and get a penalty. Strand gets the shot away, and Miller makes the save. But we will have a tripping penalty, and the Huskies will go on the power play as Pete Carlson forced that penalty by out-muscling his man to the outside. And it'll be a man advantage for Eau Claire North. Time of the penalty is 7:40 of the first period. It's against Bob Soderberg of River Falls for tripping. Tom Kuklinski will send out his red line, I believe, the first unit. Dave Seidler will try for the draw. Carlson perched in the slot, and the draw controlled by North. Back to the right point to Brad Feck. He's got Glassbrenner on the near side. Feck walks it in towards the middle, dumps to the far side, gets a return feed back out to the right point, flips it backhanded to the far side. Strand takes the shot, walks it into the top of the circle, moves back to the boards, drops it back to Feck. Feck walks it in a stride, lets loose a shot, and Miller with the stick save. Along the near boards, Glassbrenner, a pass, it's in! What a tip from the right side by Smoke Seidler. It might have gone off a Wildcat, but I think the way they're congratulating Seidler that he did get some lumber on it.
I thought it was Samara Street because that shot hit you. I just kind of was watching the depth of the puck. All of a sudden you could see his foot kind of move a little bit. I thought it was off of the skate. Either way, Seidler was close to the spot.
Seidler will get credit for the goal. It's a power play goal, and it comes at 8:03 of the period and gives Eau Claire North a 2-1 lead. Schrank with the puck off the faceoff. Takes a shot, stick saved by Ward, and the far corner, Kotke overskates it. Centering attempt, that's broken up, comes back along the far boards. Overskating the puck for a moment was Ward, or Kirk rather, and it comes out to center. Dusek passes, Cronenberg fans on his intercept try, and Schrank dumps it in. In the end to our right, Ward leaves it behind the net. Engadal goes after it with Knott forechecking, dumps it back behind the cage for Cronenberg. Up the far side, the Huskies try to bust out. Corey Knott got a piece of it and backhands it back deep in the zone. Derek Kotke retreats. Kotke flips it back to the far corner. Over after it is Brian Restad. Restad lost it along the far boards. Dusek charges the point to hold it in. He and Kotke waltz in the corner, and Kotke goes down. Engadal, the sophomore, knocked off the puck along the near boards, and Restad's pass was in a dangerous zone but came out to center ice, and it's fielded there by Pat Kruselak. Kruselak and Dusek clear the zone, and it comes to Kottke just inside the north blue line. Huskies change on the fly. A long shot from his own blue line by Kottke, and an easy save for Miller. 2-1 Huskies, 5:49 to go in the first period. The Wildcats bust out and create a 3-on-3. Skating to the far side goes Wheeler, or rather Quigley Olsen, and Olsen lost the handle on it. It comes out to center, kicks off Potten's stick and comes down into the zone to our left. Landon back for it there for the Wildcats. On the far side for Simone. The Huskies sending in just one forechecker. Now King goes in deep, along with Hickey. Hickey trying to get a piece of it, but Potten comes up with it. Potten has to go back behind the goal line. Exit stage left for Potten up the far side. It's intercepted by King. Leaves it at the point, gets a return feed. Hickey's shot blocked. Goes after it again. Reloads on the backhand. A pass to the left face-off circle is picked off. And here come the Wildcats. Landon again, the rushing defenseman. Landon gets a shot that's blocked off a shin pad. And the shot is swatted out of there by Ward right underneath one of the Wildcats. Landon turns and fires. It ricochets off 2 sets of skates. Landon reloads and it's poke checked out to center. Back for it is Jim Simone, who was, by the way, the only Wildcat back. Nobody covered the point when Landon rushed. Here is Potten with it. The sophomore slides it ahead, but Pete Glassbrenner intercepts. He plays catch with Potten. Gets it to Olsen. Quigley Olsen shoots it in. Brad Feck with a nice catch on the end of his stick. Just does get it out to center, and here's Pete Carlson. Huskies leading 2-1. Dave Seidler over the blue line. Cranks a shot that's wide to the right. Strand after the rebound. Overskates it along the far board. Gets it to Seidler. He's got Carlson in front. Looks for him. Seidler behind the net. Centering pass. Carlson got a stick on it, but the Wildcats break it up. Here comes River Falls. At center ice with it is Sunahouse, and he is knocked off the puck, but the shot taken instead by Mitch Garapanis. He got a good shot away, but Ward cut off the angle and made the save. Out to Dave Seidler, the senior, up along the near boards. Headbands to Carlson and then gets a return feed. Up along the boards, Seidler to Carlson. Carlson in front, and the pass was broken up nicely by the defenseman in front of the net. The Wildcats bust out. 2-1 Huskies. 3:49 to go in the first period, and now we'll get an icing call. We'll take a break. Back at Hunt Arena right after this. Just a 30. What spot is this? Oh, okay. Oh my gosh, you're that far ahead? How many did she put in the first period? Oh, that's what I thought. Okay. Play in the Huskies zone to our right with 3:35 to go in the first period. North leading 2-1. Tony Engadal digs it out and then overskates, goes back for it behind the cage, comes out the far side at the end to our right. Slides it ahead for Barry Anderson. By intercepts and keeps it in. Trying to keep the pressure on. Kevin Cayley along the far boards on his off wing. Jousting in the corner with Kottke. Centering pass hit the back of the net. Shot from a bad angle. Ward kicked that out of there, and Joe Turk goes after it. Turk headbands out to the blue line and out to center ice. Anderson almost had a breakaway. It'll be an offside as the Wildcats' Sean Dusek brought it back in the zone rather than risk the breakaway by Turk.
You know, where the Huskies are going in, the bench is a big buildup of snow. Now, I saw that the puck hit that felt the snow last time they threw somebody outside. What do they do about it? Nothing.
Shave it a little better, I guess. Off the face-off, Pete Carlson comes up with it, moves into no man's land, and comes up with the puck. Carlson on his backhand, careens behind the net, draws it back to the right point. Beck, the drive, and coming out to make the stop, one of the defensemen. It's still loose, and Miller finally flops on it. The first shot never got there, thanks to one of the defensemen. The second one trickled to Miller's doorstep, and he made the stop.
I think Beck was definitely to the tip on that. He's like kind of a lag shot, nothing really on it. And of course, like you said, it's happened up in front.
2-1, Huskies lead, 2:52 to go in the first period. Takes off to the left of Miller. Carlson trying to get it on the far side, but the Wildcats bust out with it. Left center ice, Corey Knott, right wing feed to Schrank. He can fly, and as the poke checked away by Pete Glassbrenner, knocks it out to center. Carlson and Strand after it, but Simone, long strides, goes after it. Simone backhands it along the near board. Seidler right there, takes a nudge into the boards, and Landon has it for River Falls. Up along the far boards for Wheeler, a blind centering pass, almost picked off, but Landon comes up with it. Landon again leading the rush, trying to move around the defenseman, but he was double-teamed. Glassbrenner took the man and then comes up with the puck. Glassbrenner lags it along the near boards, and Wheeler just got a piece of it, but they'll still call icing. Apparently he didn't touch it, and the puck will come back down into the Eau Claire North zone. with 2:13 to go in the first period, 2-1 Huskies.
Not a lot of mistakes in the game so far. We only had one penalty. Save-wise, each goal has made 5 saves.
It's been a well-played first period.
A lot of speed, not a lot of action, a lot of good hitting, a couple of good shots.
River Falls using the defenseman a lot and using that European-style passing concept. I'm sure they haven't executed it quite the way Scott Dickmeyer would like as of yet. And they trail 2-1. Trigby Olsen tried to get it to Cotton along the near boards, but Cronenberg intercepts. Back behind the net is Speck, and he had it taken away on the far side by Olsen. Looks back to the point for Duszek. He walks it in, lags a shot. It's a save by Ward. Boy, he was out in the middle of a crowd, way out of the net, to make the pad save. Engadal behind the cage, takes his man down and gets the pass away simultaneously. King, a lead feed to Turk. Turk has a wing ahead of him. Cronenberg, he stays onside just barely. Turk, a backhand shot. That's broken up. Here's Packney with a cannon, and that's a save by Miller. Made the stick save, and the Wildcats flip it up along the boards. It's held in by Cronenberg. Cronenberg checks into the boards, and coming out of there with it is Cotton. The lead feed to Cernahouse. Cernahouse, strong on his skates, moves in on the backhand. Ward the save. Oh, the rebound, a wide open net. But the defenseman picked up and made the block, and we get a whistle in front of the net. Oh, Kevin Ward made one nice save, but left himself totally vulnerable on the rebound. One Wildcat overskated the puck. Another one had his shot blocked by the defenseman.
I wish I could have seen who the defenseman was, Mike, because Olsen made the one nice save, and that is, I think it was number 16 from the Wildcats. Olsen was going to take the shot, and some defenseman simply got his stick in there and ran to the stick. So Olsen couldn't pull the stick back for the shot, and that's when the rebound was kind of kicked around, and then as Ward was laying on the ground, that's when they blew the whistle for some reason.
1:17 to go in the period. 2-1 Eau Claire North. By with a shot off the faceoff. It goes wide. Strand over after it. Strand gets it to Peck. Peck at his own goal line. Backhands it back for Strand. And the Huskies try to bust out, but a steal by By. Gotten right back by Strand, and he starts out a 3-on-2. Strand up the far side with Simone. Stride for stride. Centering feed broken up. Carlson goes over after it with Strand. They double team the Wildcat along the board. And up with it is Strand. Strand looks for Seidler in front, and Seidler can't get a stick on it. Along the far boards now he does. He's nudged into the boards by Cayley, and coming out of there with it is Landon. Landon leads a 4-on-2 rush the other way. Cayley taken down by Feck, but he was playing the puck, and an offside created with just 39 seconds to go in the period, and North leading 2-1.
That's right where that famous go is, Mike. The punching hit it right on the box. Everybody leaving to the concession stand.
Boy, man, let's have about 3 goals here. Unbelievable. We do have a good crowd, contrary to some other years when we've been over here. Off the faceoff, Corey Knott takes a check from Brad Peck. Oh, here's a steal by Schrank. Schrank moving in on the right side and charging through to take over, I believe it was Cronenberg. A long shot and went by Kevin Ward, but went wide. Here's a shot from a bad angle along the far boards. Comes back out to Schrank covering the point. The drive. Kerens up into the air and comes right back to right point to Soderberg. Soderberg backhands it into the corner with 15 seconds left in the period. Brad Peck backhands it out of there, and it's intercepted. Corey Knott in the corner with 9 seconds left. Centering attempt broken up by Kottke. Tries to hammer it out of the zone. Here's Duszek, a drive! And that hit traffic in front, and Kerens to the near boards, and there's the horn. And the Huskies dodge a bullet at the end of the period as a couple of clearing attempts were made blindly right onto the sticks of a couple of the Wildcats, but they couldn't cash it in.
They had a lot of pressure, Mike. We were talking about the match. About 40 seconds left. They put on 40 seconds of a little bit of pressure on Kevin Ward. He was equal to the task. He's got to see him ground those up. He's a big kid. He could throw his weight around.
We're set to go. The Huskies looped around goaltender Kevin Ward. Down at the end of our left, his backup Todd Close, both underclassmen, but Ward the experienced one of the duo. And of course both goaltenders experienced for River Falls. Mike Miller and Paul Schmidt both saw action last year.
Nice thing at this round, we've had a lot of fun this year. Close goal. You know, they got a guy by the name of Kevin Costley. He puts a puck in the net. It's a costly goal. This is going to be good.
And you got to have Trigby on there. The all-name team comes your way in February. The 11th annual. No, I think the 10th annual. I don't think we had one the first year. Bob Sullivan and Ed Paulson, glad you joined us tonight from the Walter H. Hunt Arena.
Who was Walter anyway? You were reading the flag. I didn't read it.
Hey, he has not been around for a while, at least not actively retired in 1937, but did a lot for UW River Falls and for the community of River Falls. Huskies attired in blue with red, skating left to right, win the draw. River Falls in the home white with dark blue breezers and trim. Soderberg goes after it in the end to our right. Seidler forechecking. It comes up along the dasher boards and now loose out in the face-off circle, but picked out of there by Potton. Potton into the Huskies attack zone, takes a stiff check from Glassbrenner and goes down. A steal over here covered by Cernahouse. Looks for the centering attempt for Olsen in front, but it goes back behind the net. Potton banks it off the boards. Try to keep his stick loose. A quick flip shot goes over the top of the net by Cernahouse. Glassbrenner's lead feed too far for Seidler. Held in, the pass hit Potton in the skates. Soderberg reloads, slides it ahead in the corner. That's picked off by Keith Glassbrenner. He's stapled to the boards by Potton, but comes out of there with it. Takes another check, but got the pass away. Seidler too far for Strand. Strand goes after it, back with Sean Dusek, the assistant captain of the Wildcats, holding Strand's stick as he goes after the puck in the corner, goes down with his glove to flip it. He'll use anything, and Strand gets it out to the point. Back a bomb, and it goes just wide to the left. Loose at the side of the cage for a moment, and it goes to the far boards. Strand after it again, overskated it with the help of one of the Wildcats, and here comes Dusek out of there. Strand checks him, and Carlson comes up with it. A drop feed to Glassbrenner. Lead feed broken up by Dusek. Wildcats changing on the fly. The shot hit off a back stick and goes to the far corner. Line comes out, and he takes a check. In the near corner, Cayley lost it to Beck. Gets it back again. By along the near board. Gets it into the slot, but that's broken up again by senior Brad Beck. By another steal. Pulls the trigger on a shot. Ward with the save, although I think it was wide. Cayley goes behind in the corner for it. Double teamed by the Huskies, and we'll get a face-off. 2-1. Eau Claire North leads it. 13-15 to go in the second period.
Once you notice how there's always a big defenseman in every other team except for the Goose of the team we're dealing with. I mean, this Simone guy, he is big.
He's about 6'4", I would guess close to 200.
I wouldn't want to be hit by him. Even, that strength is big. He's playing a wing, but sometimes our team skate back from the point.
Face-off will be to the right of Kevin Ward. The draw controlled by nobody. It skitters to the far boards. And after it there for the Huskies is Greg Cronenberg. Cronenberg gets it to Joe Turk. Turk takes a check from Schrank, but gets it out to center ice. Langdon has it there in front of his own bench. Lead feed broken up by Cronenberg, who doesn't give anything away to anybody. The center for the Huskies football team lost it now to Schrank. Schrank along the far board, checked by Engdahl. Joe Turk submarines his man and gets into the attack zone, but Wheeler covering up nicely on defense. Gets it for the Wildcats. Split it over to Simone, ahead to Corey Knott. Knott, the first line center, a long lead feed too far for Wheeler. Intercepted by Kotke, who has one of the Huskies' goals. Schrank lost it to Cronenberg, who turns and dumps it in. With roller coasters behind the net, and Miller leaves it there for Simone. Simone lost it along the near boards. Wheeler takes a stiff check in the corner by Clay Tim, and we'll get a whistle and a face-off in the Wildcats' end as Miller made a stop.
He was yawning, wasn't he? I just kind of reached out and grabbed it and pulled it in. That was I don't know, just the angle we had on it. They were so relaxed. Simone was saying like this, saying, got it, Mike? Yeah, no problem.
Like a slow motion replay. King's line out for the Huskies. 2-1, Eau Claire North leads it. Sean Dusek behind his net. Exit stage right, dumps it back behind the net. It hopped off the cage for a second. Has not had a bit of trouble with it. It comes out to center for Cernahouse. Cernahouse up along the far board. The drop feed now to Soderberg. To the near side to Dusek. Back to the far side. Almost a steal for the Huskies by Costley. That was almost a costly pass, and it comes back to Dusek in the Wildcat zone to our right. Hickey forechecking. King up with the puck. Looking for somebody in front. Lost the handle on it. It goes to the far boards. Olsen after it there for the Wildcats. Lost it. Costley pokes it ahead, and out it comes to Soderberg. Soderberg moves to his backhand for the wheel around Glassbrenner. He does. The shot through traffic, and it's just wide. Potton to the near side. It goes to Olsen, back to Potton in the corner. King over there for the Huskies trying to poke it loose. Back to Cernahouse into the slot. Oh, what a save by Ward. He saw that one coming. Soderberg had cheated in from the slot and pulled the trigger from point-blank range. On the right point, Dusek keeps it in. Trigby Olsen. Lost it to King, goes after it along the far board, dumps it behind the net. Brad Beck just hammers it around the boards and down the ice to relieve the pressure. 2-1 Huskies. They'll call icing. We'll be back at Hunt Arena right after this. Just at 30. If you want to break after this one, I'll keep it here for about 5 minutes. Oh, okay. Well, there you go. Get the typewriter out.
Resume time.
Off the face-off, the Wildcats get a shot away. Chris By mixing it up a little bit, trying to get closer to Kevin Ward in case there's a rebound. But Ward had held on. That was one problem Kevin Ward had as a sophomore, as a lot of young goalies will, giving up some rebounds. Dave Seidler dumps it to the far corner. Cayley after it for the Wildcats, trying to draw it back to the point, but By comes up with it along the boards. Now drops it back to Landon. He hammers one off the boards, and Ward again made the save, and again had a good thing he did not give up a rebound that time.
Again, that time like he was scored by two other Wildcats. And like you said, that was one thing we were going to talk about was the fact that he didn't give up a lot of rebounds. But that time, defenseman help was nowhere to be around.
Steve Carlson against By in the face-off circle to the left of Ward. They try to out-muscle each other, and it comes out to the point. Landon just tucks it back into the near corner. After it there is Garafanis. Garafanis jousting with two of the Huskies, and out with it comes Kottke. A long lead feed to center is picked off by Landon. He's been all over the ice tonight. Landon, the right wing feed is behind Cayley. Goes back for it. Centering pass picked off by Strand. Simone knocks him off the puck, but it's Simone that goes down, but he broke up the play, and the Wildcats dump it back in. And the end to our left. Derek Kottke to the far side. And Cayley with a forecheck comes up with it. Landon loose in front. He's checked by Strand. The puck underneath two players, and Ward dives out on top of it. A little disorganization, if that's a word, in front of the Husky net, but they got away with it.
They got away with it again because Kevin Ward had enough sense to jump out there and cover up before things get out of hand a little bit.
Kevin Ward making sure everything gets readjusted. Shakes his Billy Boat chin strap a little bit. 2-1 Huskies. 10-10 to go in the second period. And the draw controlled by Joe Turk, but it's held in by Soderberg. A bouncing shot. Knott couldn't get to it, and the Huskies do. Out at center ice, it's shot down into the attack zone by Clay Tim. Behind the goal, a stiff check, and Turk comes up with a centering attempt broken up by Wheeler. Wheeler for River Falls, a right wing feed too far for Schrank. Glassbrenner goes over. He's massaged into the pines by Schrank. At the other end, Dusek back for it with Turk riding his heels. Forechecking aggressively. Corey Knott goes into the far corner. Cronenberg tried to pick his pocket, but Knott busts out. 3-on-2 with Schrank. Broken up by Brad Trek. They shot it right into his skates. In fact, did the right thing. Just dumped it out to center. Tim dumps it in. After it goes Cronenberg on his off wing. He is checked into the boards by Soderberg. Knott going back behind his own net. Is tied up momentarily. The puck comes loose, and after it is Matt Wheeler, who has the River Falls goal. Into the far point. It's held in by Glassbrenner. Walks it in. Glassbrenner fires, and that hit traffic. He goes after it in the corner. Somebody's got to cover the point. Glassbrenner's centering attempt is broken up. Loose at the side of the cage, but broken up again by Knott. The lead feed out to center intended for Schrank. Wheeler lost it. Here goes Joe Turk, and oh, they just had a player offside. Going to the bench was Clay Tim, and Joe Turk had a good chance to at least pull the trigger on a good shot, but the offside whistle blew.
Clay wasn't watching like he was simply making sure the door was open. I think he thought the play was heading up ice. And like you said, it was just had 1 foot in the box and trailing another skate crossing the line. Offside.
That's why you hustle from the time your shift starts to the time it ends. 8:53 to go in the second period. 2-1, the Huskies lead. There's been no scoring so far in the second period. Landon with it. Scott Landon dumps it out to center and gets it back again and dumps it back to Jim Simone at his own blue line. Up the near side, Kottke got a piece of it and dumps it back to center, right to Simone. A long cross-lane pass is picked off by Costley. Costley has a man in front, that's Restad, and King a shot just wide. How he missed, I'm not sure. He went for the wide side and maybe got too much of the blade on it. Up the far side, Jim Simone, a lead feed out to center. It's intended for Troy Kuselak, and that's broken up by the Huskies and shot back down. Miller will stop it behind the cage. Forechecking is King. Starting out the far side is Simone. The feed to Kuselak, back to Simone. Simone has Cernahouse with him and an offside, or the puck went up over the dasher boards, and we'll get the whistle in the face-off with 8:05 to go in the second period. 2-1, Eau Claire North.
Pretty kind of a sloppily played second period. Mike, that open opportunity for the Huskies is about the only one that we've even had close to. We had a couple down there, I guess, for the Wildcats. But so far, it's just been a lot of pawing back and forth between the blue line.
You're right, and we talked about adjustments. I think the Huskies are covering better on those breakout patterns. The defensemen don't have as much open ice to work with. Dusek now for the Wildcats, dropping back into his own end. Gets it up along the near boards for Cayley, ahead to Chris By. He turns and goes with it. Long right wing feed. And Seidler tied up his man. Glassbrenner goes after it. It's kicked loose. Pete Carlson going back to help out. Pass to the side of the cage. By a turnaround shot. That's broken up, and Glassbrenner weaves his way through the traffic. Up ice. He's got Seidler ahead of him. Glassbrenner over the blue line takes the shot, and it trickles wide to the right off a couple of sticks. Dusek dumps it to the far corner for Soderberg. Seidler forechecking, swoops underneath a check attempt, has the puck behind the net, tries to stuff it in, and it's along the goal line, and Miller covers it. He stood his ground. Boy, we talked about him being a cool customer, Ed. He saw Seidler coming around the corner and never did go down or come out. Just kept his skates right along the goal line.
He stood right there, and I think was one of the biggest wastes of hockey is their stuff shot. I've seen it work, I think, twice, and both times were against me. I've never seen it work.
How about it?
Oh, that's what I've seen.
Steve Blodgett's made it work a few times, but you're right. You got to be quick, although Smoke did get around the corner. Joe Turk off the face-off. Can't pull the trigger. Andy Leskinen out for his first shift. Loses it to Wheeler. It's first line against fourth line right now. This is a key shift with the Huskies leading 2-1. Wheeler gets the feed out to center for Cronenberg. He's got Turk ahead of him. Oh, Leskinen is skating up with his third line. I take it back. Leskinen with a centering attempt and hit the back of the net, and it's tied up on the mesh. And we get Simone pushing and shoving a little bit, trying to keep Leskinen away from his goaltender as the whistle sounded. 6:58 to go in the second period. 2-1. Eau Claire North leads it.
So far in saves, Mike Miller's made only 2 or 4. Definitely not a lot of shots.
The face-off will come outside the River Falls blue line. Corey out against Joe Turk. Leskinen backends it ahead, but Wheeler comes up with it. A right wing feed to Schrank. That's poke checked away at the blue line and gotten out to center ice by Tony Engdahl. The sophomore dumps it in. Turk hustling after it with Knott. A couple of fine young center icemen behind the net. The Wildcats come up with it, dump it up ahead for Wheeler. Wheeler lost it for a moment at the side of the cage, and it comes to the near corner. Simone on his backhand. Goes behind the net, starts out the far side. Right wing feed for Schrank. He's knocked off the puck. Joe Turk has it for the Huskies. Turk at the top of the face-off circle and a kick out on that one by Miller. Turk after it again. In the corner. Shrugs off a check attempt. Still has the puck. Has an open point. Draws it back to Engdahl. The sophomore bombs one that hits traffic in front. Costly can't get his stick loose, and Wheeler comes away with it. He's got Schrank with him. Schrank over the blue line. Poke checked away, and Schrank tries to muscle Engdahl out of the way. Here's Wheeler. Ducking behind the net. Moves and poke shot it right through the crease. It comes to the near corner, and the Huskies get it out to the point, and Dusek unable to hold it in. Circles at center ice and gets it to Pat Kuselak. Kuselak had it poke checked away. Dusek goes back to cover up. 5:47 to go in the second period. 2-1 Huskies. Dusek a lead feed. That's broken up by King. Ooh, what a check he took at center ice from Troy Kuselak. He was off balance. That added to the effect. Kuselak's left wing feed. Nobody home. King with a nice check behind the play. Might have been interference, but he got away with it. Behind the net for the Huskies is Glassbrenner. Lead feed to Costly along the boards. Put it right into the slot. Covering up for the Huskies was Glassbrenner. Effect, rather. Got it out to center ice. Dusek to Kuselak. That's intercepted. Dusek got it right back again. Backhands it out to center for Olsen. Off a skate. King has it. Slides it in. Kuselak there. It's a ping-pong match at center ice right now. Another steal by Costly. Dumps it in. 5:02 to go in the second period. 2-1 Huskies. North changing on the fly. Dave Seidler's line coming out. Frigley Olsen's line out there for River Falls. And the Huskies shoot it right back in again, but neither team could connect on more than one pass in a row. Seidler goes behind the net for it. Can't come up with it. Out to center, and the Huskies change it on the fly, come up with it. Engdahl to Feck, and Feck will just dump it in. I think both teams want a whistle about now, Ed.
I want a whistle. He's going to skid out the end of the period. I'm not sure what. There's actually no action.
4:29 to go in the second period, and we get one. And we'll take a quick break and be back at Hunt Arena right after this. Just 30.
Clear that throat.
I need a break, too.
Oh, Hum City all of a sudden, huh?
Yeah. Great first period, lousy second.
Make a great turn.
Yeah. the draw, the Huskies with two great chances. They don't score. A pipe shot and a save by Miller. Carlson clanked one off the pipe. And moments later, I believe it was Strand that got a shot away. Not much steam on it. And Miller was able to make the save. The face-off now to his left. Carlson tried to pull it to Strand, but it comes up the near side where Cayley has it. Kevin Cayley over the Huskies' blue line. A drop feed is broken up. Pete Carlson hand on his clearing attempt. Brown gets it out to center. Landon tried to dump it back in. Cayley got onside. Takes a check along the near boards. Returns the favor. And Cayley has it over the blue line. Cayley, a drop feed on the far side. The shot up in Ward's eyes, and he covers up on the rebound. That one was up around his neck. He stood up on tiptoes to take it on his chest and then flopped on top of the rebound. And it's still 2-1 Huskies.
I want to go back and comment on the save that Miller made on the Strand. You see that it looks like in softball, you don't want a guy to go down and barehand a ball. He simply just took his goalie stick and swung his stick at the puck in front of the net, and then he finally dropped on it.
The puck comes out to the point and knocked out to center ice by Cronenberg. Goes after it, but Sean Dusek beats him to it. Dusek starting out of his own end, right up the middle, over the faceoff dot, broken up by Joe Turk. Wheeler re-intercepts, trying to get through traffic, but he's checked off the puck. Now Dusek dumps it in. It angles off the boards right to the side of the cage, but Brad Peck is there, out to the right point. Held in by Soderberg. Soderberg tees it up. A pass is broken up by Turk. Turk trying to slide it out to one of the wings who are both flying. Gets the return feed. Turk over the blue line. Moves to his right. Along the goal line, a centering attempt. That's broken up by Dusek. Dusek starts up along the near board. Lead feed is intercepted by Greg Cronenberg. Dumps it back in. Soderberg in the end to our right for River Falls. To Sean Dusek. Banks it off the boards for Wheeler. Too far. Brad Peck fanned on it. Has to go back to his own blue line. Crosses to Glassbrenner. Glassbrenner back to Peck, and the Huskies bust out. Right wing feed now to Leskinen. Centering attempt, and it's broken up by Schrank, who tied up Turk, but Turk goes after it. Tied up again by Knott, and we'll have an offside whistle. The Wildcats checking closely, as are the Huskies. And, you know, we talk about lack of action, and I guess the purists like good defense. I'm not sure that's all this is in this period, Ed, but we are seeing good checking.
I think we're seeing some good checking. Like I think we're seeing maybe a little wariness after, first couple games for each team. I think they're kind of showing a little bit of lack of stamina. 2:41 to go in the second period. North leading 2-1. Back for it goes Derek Kottke. Kottke in his own zone. Along the far boards, it trickles out to center ice. Landon back for it. Backhands it ahead. Too far for Troy Kuselak, but he was able to dump it in. Derek Kottke. Lead feed to Hickey on the near side. That's broken up by Simone. Simone lost it again to Hickey. Now here come the Wildcats. 3-on-1. Turnerhouse shoots and a save by Ward. Boy, he blasted that one from about 10 feet away, and it hit off Ward's shoulder. Bounces back behind the net into the near corner. Simone charging the point. Keeps it in. Goes after it behind the net. Centering attempt is broken up behind the cage. Marty Hickey in there along with Engadal. It finally comes loose, and the whistle had sounded, I believe. I didn't either, but apparently it did, and both teams will change skaters. 2 minutes to go in the second period. 2-1 North. No, now we're going to have, I think we have first line against first line, but I guess not. I thought I saw Schrank coming out there. Well, that's going to bring in their first line.
Carlson against By and company. Another big kid. Center for the Wildcats. Off the draw. The face-off controlled by Pete Glassbrenner. Headman's for Carlson. Carlson along the far boards. A lead feed intended for Seidler. Broken up by Kuselak. This is Pat Kuselak, who dumps it back to Soderberg. Along the far boards, Pete Carlson streaking in at a bad angle. Angles down to the near side, and the face-off dot gets it back to Brad Peck, who just quick sticks it back into the corner. Pat Kuselak lost the handle on it, moving in his Strand, centering pass. Oh, what a shot, and what a save by Mike Miller. What a setup by Strand. First of all, let's give credit to that. Pete Carlson wasted no time in pulling the trigger, and Miller just did a super job coming out to make that stop.
He did like he slid right across and turned the puck. He was right in front of Strand. Strand slid the pass to Carlson. Miller did the same thing. He fouled the puck at the spot right in front of the puck. Carlson pulled the trigger right away and right in the Miller's midsection.
1:33 to go in the second period. That was the Huskies' best chance of this second period. This first line is going to stay out there for an extended shift. And Carlson with a steal, stops on a dime, moves around a check attempt by Landon. Seidler flying in the corner. Simone trying to draw a bead on him. Seidler gets it loose. The centering pass broken up by Corey Knott. Right wing feed to Schrank, back to Wheeler. Quick one-touch passing. Schrank up the far side with Glassbrenner riding his hip. goes behind the net, drop pass to Wheeler. Wheeler at the side of the cage, draws it over to the far corner and goes after it. Corey Knott ducks back behind the cage for it, with Carlson back checking in, ties him up, Knott trying to dig it loose. It is loose, the backhand, and it's in. Race between Wheeler and Woods, and the Wildcats tie it 2-2, I believe it was Wheeler again. Matt Wheeler with his second goal of the game. It comes in the final minute of this second period at 14:07. Matt Wheeler with his second goal of the game will try and pick up the assist. Very hard to hear that. Wheeler gets the goal. And it's a 2-2 hockey game and almost another chance for Senior Street. It is in the goal. 2-2. Harry Cotton with a garbage goal, but it still counts, and it gives River Falls a 3-2 lead. They caught the Huskies napping and have scored twice in 10 seconds here in the final minute of the period. And it's a stunned group of Huskies right now. Boy, you never want to give up a goal in the final minute of the period. Now they give up two, and it may only be a swing of a one-goal lead to a one-goal deficit, but it's a much bigger edge in terms of momentum for the Wildcats right now. Jim Simone with it with just 38 seconds left in the period. We talked about the flurry they put on in the final seconds of the first period. They do it again here in the second, and it pays off with 2 goals. Out at center ice with it is Chris By. By angling right to left, turning on the afterburners, trying to move around a check by Kottke. Drop feed for Cayley, centering attempt back to By behind the net, went by him and Engedahl after it for the Huskies. Lead feed to Cronenberg. Up the far side, Cronenberg dumps it in. Miller way out of the net, she'll leave it behind the cage for Simone, but Turk may beat him to it with Leskinen. And behind the net again, Simone with just 3 seconds left in the period. Huskies forechecking, but will not get a shot away. The second period comes to an end, and the Wildcats, with 2 quick goals in the waning minute, have taken a 3-2 lead at the end of 2. We'll be back at Hunt Arena in River Falls right after this.
And Howard Cotton also got a goal. That's 14-17 that goal. So talking radio again.
That's all right. I call him Howie, but don't tell him. Here we go. The Huskies skating right to left on your dial. It's set at your spot for sports, WJJK Eau Claire. The Wildcats skating left to right. And we are set to get the final period underway as soon as we get the player gate closed. Our officials, Bruce Tilton and Jim McKnight, said, here we go. Kottke trying to outmuscle his man, but it's taken by Soderberg. Slides it ahead for Dusek. The lead feed ahead to Howie Cotton in the near corner. Centering pass went right through everybody to the far boards. After it along the far boards is Todd Cernahouse. Cernahouse going behind the net with Cotton. It comes back to the point to Soderberg. He backhands it behind the cage again. Beck takes a check from Cernahouse. Kottke gets it ahead to Cronenberg. Cronenberg starts up the near side. Puck handling his way out to center ice over the blue line. He's taken down on a hip check by Soderberg. And Dusek slides through a check attempt and wheels up the right wing side. A shot and a goal! And it's 4-2. Sean Dusek, coast to coast, beat Ward high on his glove side, and it is quickly 4-2 River Falls. The Wildcats now with 3 goals in essentially about a minute of playing time. This one comes 38 seconds into the final period. And the Wildcats have proven that all of the firepower didn't graduate with Ogden and Hemingway and company. 3 quick goals. We'll do the face-off all over again at center ice. The Huskies were still changing personnel when the puck was dropped. The assist goes to Todd Cernahouse. Although I think it's safe to say most of the work was done in this case by the guy that scored the goal. Play again in the Huskies' end to our right. And it's taken out of there by Engedahl. The sophomore pokes it ahead, but Seidler was just a half stride offside. And the faceoff will come outside the River Falls blue line.
He and Scott Lonnie were kind of doing a waltz across the blue line. Sounds like a great song. They're kind of lost Harvey Lonnie, but they're kind of coming across the blue line together.
Pete Carlson against By. And Seidler after it. Landon backhands it to the far boards. Strand chases after it along the boards. Carlson got a piece of it. Strand went down heavily, and he's getting up, shaken up a bit, and heading to the bench. Scott Strand went down at a strange angle. from the left point. Engdahl, a shot that hit traffic. Carlson couldn't get to it. And now the Wildcats bust out to center ice. Kottke got a piece of it. And a hand pass called, apparently. Just gloved it and dropped it.
I think he just hand up and
So the face-off will come at center ice. 13:38 remaining. 4-2. River Falls. Kottke going after it. Brad Beck shot it up into the River Falls bench.
We're talking about people that are causing problems. We've got fans that are rambunctious, I guess you could say.
The face-off will come just to the north side of the red line this time. And we'll run out of pucks. I guess not. Knox line back out there. Kottke skating up at a center spot now for the Huskies. Puck over the Husky blue line, and here comes Kottke. He's got Turk with him. The Turk on right wing. Schwank draws a beat on him and just punches him into the board. There was the check of the game, and it was a beauty. They don't come any cleaner or any harder. And I'm not saying I don't feel for Joey Turk. I felt that one all the way up here, but it was a beauty.
It was. That was, see, I'm dishing it out. It's a treat. Joey's going to see the official burn on himself like that. Good catch.
If there were advertising on the board, he would now have it on his jersey. Face off outside the Wildcats blue line. And the draw controlled by the Wildcats. Simone to Landon on the near side. Pokes it off the boards. Glassbrenner got a piece of it. Simone retreats for it in his own end. Simone, a feed off the boards, is broken up by Beck, and again he shot it up into the Wildcats bench. Beck angled that bank shot a little too high. We're just 2 minutes into the final period. The Wildcats with a blitzkrieg. 2 goals in the final minute of the second period, 1 in the first minute of the third, have turned a 1-goal disadvantage into a 2-goal edge, and the Huskies need to bounce back.
Scott Strand is not coming out for the shooting. Still is going to be shooting out.
The draw controlled again by the Wildcats. Scott Landon at his own blue line up the near side. Centering pass is broken up by Tony Engdahl to Glassbrenner. In the middle, a quick shot was fanned on by Cernahouse. He was set up in perfect shape, but I think he was surprised the puck came right to him. Seidler into the near corner with Trigby Olsen. Olsen comes up with it behind the cage. Centering attempt, that's broken up. Here comes Engdahl. Engdahl had his pocket picked by Potton, and Engdahl got it back again. Olsen bumps him into the boards, and King comes up with it for the Huskies. Headman's for Carlson, back to King. Up the far side, King goes after it. It's broken up by Cernahouse, and Engdahl has it for the Huskies. Draws it back to Glassbrenner in his own end. Lost it, put it right on the stick of Trigby Olsen. Bumps him off the puck, and here comes Pete Carlson. Got it out to center for Seidler. Seidler wheels his way off the boards. Skates to his left, top of the face-off circle. A drop pass is broken up by Potton. Out to center, Brad Beck there for the Huskies. 4-2 River Falls. The Huskies get back on side. A shot on goal from center ice. Miller with an easy stop. Up the far side is Soderberg. Huskies trying to forecheck now. Joe Turk got a piece of it. It's kept in the attack zone, and Soderberg has to go back again behind the goal line. Wheels it up the far side for Cayley. His headman pass was ahead to By, who dumps it in, and it'll go the length of the ice. We'll get an icing call, I believe, just barely. 11:40 to go in the hockey. John White and Marty Fadness, partly due to the injury to Scott Strand, but one of the lines they had juggled already had Derek Kottke moved up to a forward spot. Barry Anderson drops it back to the right point. Centering pass broken up. Here comes Chris By. By a right wing feed ahead on the near side to Gurathanis, and he moves in. By on his backhand to the side of the cage. Brad Beck broke that up. Gurathanis along the near boards. Loses it to Beck. Back behind the cage. Beck chases it down in the far corner. His pass picked off by at the side of the net. Beck trying to haul him down does, but he's going to go for a penalty as soon as he touches the puck. Power play hockey coming up for the River Falls Wildcats when we return to Hunt Arena right after this. Are we done with spots? Okay. Okay. I think so. A final score from Madison Square Garden. The Bucks winners tonight over the New York Knicks by 10. Here's Landon to Bye in the middle. Bye ducks the traffic, gets it to Simone on the right side. Simone in the face-off circle is taken down momentarily. Engadal came up without the puck. Simone trying to hold it in, but it's out to center. Bye flicks it to the fireboard. Landon back to Bye on his own blue line. Lost the handle on it. Seidler got a piece of it. And Bye trying to jockey for position. Finally gets it to Landon. Landon veers into the attack zone. Takes the shot. He hit the pipe. He hit the far pipe. Landon drops it behind the net for Schrank. Schrank pokes it to the near corner. Now dumps it back towards the point, intended for Simone, and Simone goes right over the top of Dave Seidler. Seidler gets up, so does Simone. Simone has the puck, drops it back to Kuselek. Now Seidler backhands it out to center. Seidler took a check from Kuselek, and Bye comes up with the puck. Bye bumped off the puck. Schrenk fanned on it. Bye goes after it along the near boards. Joe Turk backhands it out to the point. Simone holds it in, moves it into the near corner. Off the boards, Bye to Schrank behind the net. After him is Kottke. Schrank ducks a check, tries to stuff it in. It was blocked and backhanded down the ice by Seidler. 43 seconds left in the first power play of the night for River Falls. They lead 4-2. Soderberg trying to wind it up from his own end, but Turk picks his pocket. Joe Turk moves his way back towards center ice and colliding with his own man. And here comes Patton. He has his stick lifted by Turk. Nice job getting back by Joe Turk. Pete Glassbrenner banks it off the boards to center, and Sean Dusak has to retreat for it with 17 seconds left in the man advantage. 9:26 to go in the game. River Falls leading it 4-2. Up the far side, Dusak lost the handle on him with nobody around him. Comes to the near boards. Long cross-ring pass is broken up by Tim for the Huskies, and he shoots it right back down the ice, and the time expires on the penalty, and that'll bring an icing call. 4-2, the Huskies trail. 9:10 the time remaining.
Huskies are nice getting off their first penalty of the season. But now I know it's River Falls. I kind of expected more out of their power play. They took it in, they tried to set it up once, it didn't work, and then they simply dropped back on the goal line and unloaded. And they almost got one time, but basically not very impressive as far as River Falls goes in power play. As far as wanting to be setting up a lot of passes, they really didn't set up.
Corey Knott's line back out there. Soderberg cheating in a couple of steps from the point. Brad Peck, the veteran, goes behind the cage, starts out the near side for Cronenberg. He can't clear the zone. Wheeler, who has a pair of goals, keeps it in. Soderberg off the point to Schrank. Has to chase it down in the near corner with Peck right on his hip. Schrank still comes out of there with it, moves into his backhand, and Ward made the glove save and takes a slash from Schrank going after the rebound. Schrank was going for the puck, but the puck was in Ward's glove, and he caught Ward right in the midsection. They both go down and get up again with 8:50 to go in the game.
I don't think it was intentional in any way at all. I don't think it was bring him over or not. I don't know.
No, you're right. There's no way. Schrank was going for the puck, but the whistle had blown, and so I believe he will go. Slashing is the call. Well, I don't think the official had a choice either, Ed. I think you're right. He wasn't intending to go for the body, but when he missed the puck, that's what happened, and technically that's what slashing is. 8:50 remaining makes the time of the penalty 6:10, and the Huskies with a chance to get back in it, trailing 4-2. In front of his own net is Brad Peck. Starts up the far side, a bit too far, but Kottke gathers it in, backhands it ahead for Turk. Turk wheels his way off the boards into the face-off dot along the goal line. Now drops it back for Kottke, who has one of the Huskies' goals. Kottke out to the point to Glassbrenner. He's not able to hold it in. Peck has to go back in his own end for it with Wheeler right on him. He put it on Knott's stick. Knott back in front. It hit the plate again, and he's knocked out by Peck. Great job by Peck to save that goal. Ward lost his stick, trying to retrieve it. He does pick it up as Peck goes back behind the net for him. Brad Peck up the far side with Wheeler shadowing him. Knott with a steal. Knott uses a screen, careens behind the net, dumps it back to the far corner, and Peck there for the Huskies. The blue shirts head up ice. A lead feed to Turk. That's broken up by Wheeler again. Wheeler tried to get it to Knott, but it's taken by Turk of the Huskies. Turk circles and gives to Cronenberg. Cronenberg lugs it up the near side. A slap shot is saved by Miller. It was on goal from the blue line, but Miller with the easy stop. Turk forechecking. The Huskies on the power play for another 49 seconds. Along the near boards, it's kept in by Engadal. His shot hit traffic. Turk goes to the near corner for it. Turk for Strand, breaking in, and he overskated it. Wheeler comes up with it, can't clear the zone. Seidler, now it is knocked out to center, and here comes Chris By. By veering right to left, and now the great circle route back to his own end to give his team time to get fresh penalty-killing troops out there. He dumps it in. Engadal, the sophomore, a lead feed for Strand. That's broken up, and an offside whistle will blow with 22 seconds left in the Husky power play.
The Huskies haven't had a chance to set up, Mike.
7:12 to go in the game. North missing a golden opportunity here after leading 2-1 in the first period and throughout most of the second period. River Falls has taken a 4-2 lead. Still a lot of time remaining. Tony Engadal, the sophomore, moves over the blue line, drives a shot again right up in Miller's midsection, and he made the glove save. Leaves it for Simone. Up the near side, Engadal stops it again. Tees it up, draws it to Strand. Strand into the slot to the left of the goal. Carlson couldn't quite tee it up. Ooh, a nicely executed play, but they couldn't quite finish it off. Carlson with a steal again. Schrank whacks at it. It goes right into the slot, but there's nobody home for the Huskies. Simone got it out to center. Seidler got a piece of it. Here comes Tibb, or rather this is Cayley. Cayley moving over the blue line, and Engadal has it for the Huskies. But the time has expired on the River Falls penalty. Here's Simone off the boards, and it loses wide to the near side. Landon charges the right point and comes up in Strand's face, and I believe we'll get a penalty. Here comes Seidler. He's nailed. Gets the shot away. Miller with a big stop. What a solo effort by Seidler, and we're going to get a penalty call again against River Falls for elbowing as Strand took a shot right in the chops on Landon, I believe. Time of this penalty will be 8:44 on Scott Landon for elbowing, and North will go right back to the power play. Don Kuklinski will send out Joey Turk's line. Turk, Kotke, and Cronenberg with Pete Glassbrenner and Brad Peck on the points.
Compared to this time, I think he's able to keep the puck in the zone and set up the power play and get the goal. He'd want to get back in it right away.
Dusek gets it out to center ice. Up with his Feck, backhands it right to Soderberg of River Falls. He shoots it right back to Feck at his own blue line. Left wing feed to Cronenberg. Cronenberg over the blue line, trying to force things and draw the D, and he does. Soderberg over after it, strips into the puck. Dumps into the corner, Cronenberg after it again. Cronenberg stays on his feet, but up with the puck out to the blue line. Glassbrenner holds it in. Soderberg back into the corner. Dumps it to the far side for Dusek. Dusek jousting with Turk. Kotke in to help out. Turk pokes it loose. He's got a man all alone in front. Can't get him the puck. Cronenberg was standing by himself behind the net. Kotke tried to tuck it in front. That's blocked. Turk gets it in the far side. Crisscrosses with Kotke. Turk comes to the near side. Cronenberg trying to set up shop in front. Here's the blast by Glassbrenner that goes way wide, looking for the deflection. The official got in the way, but Dusek goes after it. Up the far side now to Cernahouse. Back it comes to Dusek, to Soderberg on the near side. Backhands it to the point. Glassbrenner holds it in again. Huskies keeping the pressure on, but not getting that many shots. Turk behind the net to the side of the cage. Kotke back for Turk, too far. Turk has to chase it down to the near corner. Out to the point. Glassbrenner able to hold it in again. He's knocked off his feet, but gets right back up again with just 40 seconds left in the power play. Peck globes a bouncing puck and holds it in on right point. Turk after it along the boards. Tries to move it into the slot. Kotke goes into the corner for it with Dusek. Kotke looking for Cronenberg in front. Kotke circles, shoots in front. Cronenberg the rebound. Miller holds his ground and keeps it out. Mike Miller never really did control that puck, but he was able to make it disappear from view.
Well, you look at him, Mike, he's leaning back into the net. One thing I've noticed so far in about the minute and a half of this penalty, but I have not seen the Huskies yet once drop the puck back to the point.
Exactly, and that's something they have done well in the past. And they've had the Steve Odells and the Andy Madsons back there.
And I think River Falls is noticing because they're collapsing in and they're bunching their four men right out real nice and tight, and the points are wide open.
24 seconds left in the penalty. River Falls, ooh, what a catch by Engadal at the blue line. There's that Peck, Brad Peck. Took a blue darter right in the midsection to keep this drive alive. Here's Strand off the blue line. Good to see him back in there, but his shot is blocked. Comes back out to center ice to Engadal. He and Peck drop to their own blue line. Lead feed to Strand. Strand knocked off his feet by Schrank, but coming up with the puck is Peck. Charging into the zone. Brad Peck drives a screen shot, and that flips up off Miller's glove over the net. Carlson draws it back to Engadal. River Falls back at full strength, but the Huskies may have some momentum going. They try to keep it in the zone, but it's out to center, and here comes Corey Knott. He's got Schrank with him. Schrank just able to stay onside, gets a drop feed. The shot booms wide to the left, off the board. Engadal into the far corner. Knott picks his pocket, draws it back to the point. Simone to the near side to Landon. Just back on the ice, backhands it into the corner. Peck after it along the boards. He's checked by Schrank. Strand takes a check again. Centering attempt broken up by Pete Carlson. Carlson, the long feed ahead to Seidler. And it comes out to center where Scott Landon corrals it at his own blue line. Has nobody back with him. Simone was caught up ice, but Landon covered up. He goes back again for it behind his own net. We're down to 3:43 to go in the hockey game. Huskies trailing 4-2. Kotsky just booms it off the boards to keep it in. Miller leaves it for Landon behind the cage. Landon tried to get it to the far corner. That's broken up. Settling attempt. Kirk has it. Gets it back again. Out in front intended for Kotsky. Simone broke that up. Kotsky gets it back again. Backpedals and takes the shot. That hit not. He reloads. Fires again. Just wide to the left. It comes to the near board. Schrank trying to out-muscle his man, and Cronenberg won't be out-muscled. Schrank blasts it finally down the ice to relieve the pressure. This will bring an icing call. 4-2, River Falls, 2:52 to go in the game.
Almost again, the Huskies skating with 7 men, and this time, Tony Engeldahl came out and was just setting up in the blue line. All of a sudden, nobody would get back, and they had 7 men on the attack, and they had 6 men on the attack from the goal, and managed to get off the time again before the referees noticed them.
The face-off will come in the Wildcats' end to our left. To the right, the goaltender Mike Miller. Derek Kotsky will try for the draw. And there's Chris By off the face-off. The Wildcats break out with a 2-on-1. Cayley has Garafanos with him. Drop feed to By. A blast and Ward the save. Oh, By got that one up a little bit, and Ward was able to see it all the way. He didn't control it initially, but he fell on top of the rebound.
Kind of a scary kind of thing. You know the goalie's going to at least have a shot at it, and he catches it and drops down, hoping about the rebound. And he did have a decent covering back there. That was Terry Kim, I think, he was helping out back there.
This By is just a junior, and I'm impressed with him. A big, rangy kid with a good shot and good hockey sense.
Sorry, exactly. He was clean off the penalty. He skated back and helping the team go off. And he did a good job.
2:38 to go in the game. Moving in is Cayley. He's muscled off the play, and here comes Pete Carlson. Classic 3-on-2. Strand on right wing, moving in. Strand along the goal line, behind the net. Exits stage left, has open points again. Goes to the near boards and falls down on top of the puck, and we'll get a whistle and a face-off.
Again, I don't know if they don't want to pass to the points or what, but there was a good example. He was coming out of the net. He did have Engeldahl right there. He could have skated in a couple of steps and gotten off the shot. They could have bunched up Pete Carlson inside the one in front, waiting for the rebound.
2-2-1 to go. 4-2 River Falls.
We have had a good third period of action that we were kind of worried about. Good end-to-end action.
Off the draw, Carlson dumps it in. Simone with Strand right on his back, taking him into the boards. Simone moves him off the puck, and up with it is Cernahouse. Todd Cernahouse, near side, now to Potton. Potton goes into the corner with Engadal. Drop feed is flipped up over the plexiglass into the crowd. Nobody saw it for a moment, except the cheerleader who retrieves it.
You kind of wonder what kind of sophomore is going to be. Is it going to be a little burner or what? But I see number 21 comes getting on going, about, what, 6'3", another 200-pounder. No wonder he's playing as a sophomore.
They going big. Steroid investigation coming next week. Here come the Huskies. Turk, ooh, he took a shot from Simone. Back for it goes Landon. With under 2 minutes remaining now, and River Falls leading 4-2. Up the near side, Cronenberg forechecking. Huskies have to start taking some chances. Out at center ice is Tim. Got it to Glassbrenner. Back for Tim. Tim shoots it in, and the Huskies go after it. Miller leaves it there. Landon ducks behind the net, or Wheeler rather. Up the far side to Trigby Olsen. Olsen, a long lead through to Cernahouse. He's got Potton with him. They spread out. Cernahouse up the far side. Wheels around the check drop pass. Olsen was tied up, and Ward covers up on the bouncing disc with 1:25 remaining.
Glassbrenner got a little bit too close to Kevin Ward. Kevin wants to make the save. He couldn't. He had to more or less manually push Glassbrenner out of the lid in order to cover up the puck. Franklin's going to leave it too close.
Face off to the right of Ward. Next action for these two teams against Rice Lake for the Huskies at Rice Lake Saturday. River Falls will host Menominee on Saturday. Here's Knott off the face-off. A shot, and Ward took that one. That's got to hurt from about 5 feet away. Knott with a hard wrist shot. up just underneath the left collarbone. 1:21 to go. Off the draw again, not trying to tee it up. Turk after it along the boards with Wheeler. Held in by Dusek. Right in front of the net is Pete Glassbrenner. Brenner, dangerous place to stick handle, but he gets away with it. Cronenberg back to Glassbrenner. Glassbrenner to the far side, gets a return feed. Schwenk drawing a bead on him, checks him off the puck, but he gets the pass away. To Cronenberg, long right wing feed, that's broken up by Dusek. Turk after it, we're in the final minute of the game. Kottke, right in front of the River Falls bench, lost the handle on it, Knox ties him up. Wildcats with the puck. The lead feed out to center, comes to Craig Link, I believe. Right wing feed to Schwenk, and we get an offside call. That's not Craig Link out there, I beg your pardon. Thought the spare wing had made his first appearance, but not yet. 42 seconds, all that remain. The Huskies scored both of their goals in the first period to take a 2-1 lead, but the 2 goals at the end of the second and the 1 at the end of the third may be too much for the Huskies to overcome. Keep in mind, River Falls did it with this much time left in the second period.
They only took 10 seconds in the second period. And then 38 seconds into the third period.
Pete Carlson's line is out there against Chris By and company, and By wins the all-important draw. Gets it back to Landon. Landon up along the near board, Seidler with a steal, centering attempt, and Carlson was in too deep and couldn't pull the trigger anyway. Now back to the right point. Here's Keck, the drive, and it's in! It's 4-3! Keck from the right point, and there the Huskies used their points and used them effectively. The time of the goal is 14:33. The goaltender, Kevin Ward, had just started to come off, but he wasn't to the bench yet.
And now we know what he's going to be doing. But this does kind of change the strategy a little bit, and the timeout being called by North.
Huskies will call timeout with 27 seconds left to score. River Falls 4, Eau Claire North 3. We'll be back at Hug Arena right after this. So this late in the hockey game.
Well, I think Pete Carlson has been taking the draws for the Huskies, and he's allowed this one out very fast. He's a center now. I don't know, he was pretty good last year.
I think he was up around 68% or so. Not too shabby. Right at center ice. 4-3, 27 seconds left. Huskies have pulled within 1. The draw controlled by the Huskies. They can get the goaltender off. Ward heads for the bench. The extra skater Coxey comes on. In the far corner, Slam loses it to Simone, trying to pick an opening. Up the far side, Slam got a piece of it. Wheeler jousting for position, trying to pick an opening. Coxey has it, draws it back to the point, deflects the ball, and kicked out of there by Miller. It's loose in front, underneath a pile of players, and the whistle sounds with 4 seconds left. The Huskies applying the pressure. It was almost an instant replay on Brad Peck's bomb from the right point, but this time Miller was able to kick it out.
Miller kicked it out, and then Dave Snyder went leaping over somebody. He had somebody kind of guarding him close. He simply just jumped over the guy and swung at the butt with the stick, and I believe it went back under Miller. That's when everybody kind of just piled on top of him. The old version of the monkey fight.
Well, now we get another timeout called, I believe. You bet. I'm ready for OT. 4 seconds left. Mike Miller, the fine goaltender for the Wildcats, returns to the net. Knox line out there. Huskies do set up the picket line. They're all bunched in tight. 4 men across the front. Off the draw. The face-off goes just wide, and that'll do it. Oh, the Huskies took their best shot. Garrett Kottke went just wide to the left off the face-off. Pete Carlson did win the draw. Kottke got the face-off. They talk about baseball being a game